What's up, people? I'm Nishant, and here's how I got into engineering at the University of Waterloo. So I think there's three main things you need. You need great grades, good extracurriculars, and a decent AIF. There are other things, but I think these are the three pillars. Beginning with good grades. Waterloo really cares about your grades. Most people I know that were in CS or SE, which is software engineering, were pulling mid to high 90s in high school. The better your grades are, the more leeway you have in other categories like your AIF or the extracurriculars you were a part of. According to Waterloo's website here, we see that you need a 90, if you have a 95 plus, you only have a 33% chance of making biomedical or SE, but 70% in all these other categories. So be honest with yourself. If you've got like a 92, maybe don't apply to SE. Apply to like one of the other programs where there's a higher chance. Because if, and this is the case for most of us, your goal is to get a good job at the end of this, let me tell you that everyone has access to the same job portal. So I know people in like environmental or chemical or mechanical that work the exact same jobs as kids, or even sometimes even better jobs than the kids in SE or CS. So be honest with yourself depending on your grades. Self-awareness, it's huge. Now moving on, here were my grades. I'll put them on the screen right now. I was in IB, so it was a bit easier to pull higher grades in my high school. But I recently learned that Waterloo actually accounts for this. They compare past students' admission averages to how they performed in first year engineering. And depending on that, they make decisions on future applicants and based on what high school they came from or what country they're from. There's a whole chart on this, and I'll put it in the description, so you should definitely check that out. Now, let's talk about having good extracurriculars. This part should be easy and fun. Just do shit in high school, man. Just join a club, start a club, or join a sports team, or pursue a hobby. This should be fun. I made a lot of friends doing this stuff in high school. Now, I think Waterloo definitely wants nerds. That's the reality. You need good grades, but they just want to make sure you're not a complete nerd. So just do something here and there. In the application, you're asked to list your activity's name, what your role was, and for how long you did it. I don't remember every single extracurricular I wrote down, and I didn't save that list, but here are the ones that probably mattered the most that I listed in my application. And finally, let's talk about having a decent AIF. The AIF, or application information form, is basically a series of short answer questions. I think there's like 4 that have very tight character limits, from 600 to 900 characters from what I remember. My process for writing these was first write out my response in bullet points, then convert that to sentences, and then I would edit on a day-by-day basis. So first day, I write it out, just anything, just get it all on the paper. Second day, go back and edit it. The next day, go back and edit it. The next day, go back and edit it. And eventually you'll just stop changing it, and that's your perfect version that you can submit. And finally, here are my responses to the questions that I had. Here is the first one. Here is the second one. The table in this question refers to just a table where I was asked to list all my extracurricular activities. And here is the third one. And before I show you the fourth one, please hit the like button. I know every YouTuber asks about it, but it really helps, and it only takes you a second. So if you got anything out of this video, hit the like button, please. And here's the fourth one. So those were the 3 things you need. Spend most of your time getting good grades, invest a little time into extracurriculars, and obviously the least amount of time will go into writing out your application. Some other things to note about my application in particular: I was accepted into software engineering, and I made 0 mentions of any coding related activities in my application. I think what mainly got me in was my grades and some decent extracurriculars. I know now they ask you to have some coding experience if you're applying to SE, so keep that in mind. I also didn't do the Euclid math competition. Since everyone's doing it now, I don't think it actually helps you unless you score well on it. But if you score well on it, you're probably smart and you'll probably get it anyway, so whatever. So yeah, closing thoughts, don't stress. Trust me, you'll be fine. Just study hard, and that's all I got. So peace.